Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. Where do you go if you have bad credit? You need a line of credit for your business, okay? You're an entrepreneur, you're a startup, and this lender doesn't do a hard pull. They don't check on proof of income, nor do they turn you away because they have an alternative option for you in order to help you get approved. Now, here's the thing about it. I'm talking about DreamSpring, okay? DreamSpring.org, all right? And so, understand, this is crazy what they're doing, okay? Now, in terms of how do you qualify for their line of credit, it's not much to do it. Just as long as you can use your social security number or your ITIN number, having a business, or like I said, if you're an entrepreneur or a startup or whatever, again, they have financial options for you. Now, the minimum credit score for them to deal with you is a 600, but again, it's no hard pull on the credit. But what if you have less than a 600? I'm going to tell you what they're doing, and this is something that I had never seen a lender do, but it's going to help you. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. Understand that they don't work in all states, okay? I think it's maybe about 25-30 states that they actually approve in. However, it is possible for you to be a foreign entity in another state that they actually operate in and still get qualified for funding, okay? So the interesting thing about this, if you have bad credit, what they're doing, all right? So they have this credit builder program, is that what they offer, and most people don't know about this, all right? So their credit builder program starts at $200, okay? It's a $10 fee to get the paperwork and stuff going, but on that $200 they loan you. Now, you pay attention to what I'm saying. That $200 they loan you, they don't charge interest on it. They break it up so you pay it back over 6 months. The reason they want you to do this is to help build your credit score up to 600 so that you're able to get qualified for their business line of credit, okay? I've never heard of a company that was giving you this option, and I think it's fairly good. Now, in terms of what credit bureaus do they pull from, okay? Now, they do look at your FICO 8, all right? They do look at your FICO 8. Most of the time, it's going to be your TransUnion, but they may take a look at your soft pull on your Experian, okay? But most of the time, it's going to be your TransUnion, all right? So, that being said, where else can you go to get funding? Okay, where else can you go to get funding if you have at least a 600 credit score? Remember, I talked about CorePay. Okay, CorePay will give you a line of credit, and with their line of credit, like I said, you have to have at least a 600. But keep this in mind about CorePay. They work on a net 21. So what that means, once you use the account or the limit on the credit card account or the line of credit, what ends up happening, you have 21 calendar days to pay that off, okay? So that's what that net 21 means. Now, here's another thing, especially if you're trying to build up your business credit, trying to get business lines of credit, then remember I told you Divi. Divi has a line of credit as well. Now, they have a business credit builder program also. Going back, here, let me finish this up about Divi, then I'll tell you something else. Okay, with Divi, all right, so they report to the Small Business Financial Exchange, all right, and then that information is shared with Dun & Bradstreet. Remember I told you that. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. If you don't qualify for an instant line of credit, that's the reason you get into the builder program, their credit builder program for your business, so it still can report data. Now, let's go back to this DreamSpring, because this is interesting. Although they do not report, okay, what I would suggest that you do, if you get qualified for that business line of credit, I would open up a checking account with the gatekeepers. Now, we always talk about the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers are American Express, Bank of America, Chase Bank, Citibank, Wells Fargo. The reason are because they report to the major business credit bureaus like the Experian, Equifax, Business, Small Business Financial Exchange, and that information is shared with Dun and Bradstreet. Okay, so saying that DreamSpring give you a $20,000 line of credit. Well, that $20,000 line of credit, granted, you can do whatever you want to do with it. But if I were you, I would take $10,000 of that money and I would put it into one of the gatekeepers' bank accounts. Okay, like I said, maybe Chase or Capital One. And speaking of Capital One also has an easier business credit card called the Capital One Spark Business Credit Card, the gold one. So that's also a card you may want to consider since you only need a 580. But back to what I was saying about DreamSpring, that with the DreamSpring, say that you get $20,000, take $10,000 of that money. I would put it either into a Chase checking account or a Capital One or Citibank. There's the rooster. And then I would let it sit there for 30 days. No, excuse me, not 30 days, 90 days. This is going to help build up your business bank rating. And what that does, that will help you more than having net 30s on your credit file, because the banks see that you actually have this much amount of money on hold. Then it allows them to be able to trust you enough to say, hey, we want to start loaning you money. Now, another thing to help you build up your business credit, and I always tell you this, once you open up your checking account. Now, the reason I'm talking about opening up a checking account with the gatekeepers, all right, because American Express, like I told you, American Express reports to Small Business Financial Exchange. But American Express, here's the thing about American Express. You can pre-qualify for credit cards without even being a member. So you can pre-qualify for a credit card with American Express first, and then if you're approved for it, get that credit card. I would open up a business bank account so that way they can have a relationship, and that would open up the doors for you to apply from other business credit cards. Okay, so that's the reason I was talking about American Express. With Chase Bank usually need about a 660 credit score. But here's the interesting thing about Chase. They report to Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange. So they're reporting to the major credit bureaus, all right? Now, this is important because the more data you have reporting to the major credit bureaus, the more information it helps build up the business bank rating. Now, I always tell you, when you open up your business checking account, again, make sure that you're doing weekly deposits. The more deposits you have going on with your business bank account, the better it is for your business bank rating. All right, now I hope that this video helps you. If you have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, how to remove negative items off of your personal credit, click the link in the description, schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.